Hey guys, it's Sarah and today's BookList Thursday. This is a video series I do with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. And every Thursday we bring you some sort of list or book topic that we feel like talking about for the week. And this week we're going to talk about big books to binge. I like big books. And I cannot lie. I know I cannot say that now without saying like the whole thing. But I do enjoy big books. I enjoy getting lost in them. I enjoy just having a lot of time with the story and with the characters. And it really just kind of makes a big impact on me as a reader when I read a really big book. So I like them. They can also be intimidating. Sometimes they can take longer than you want them to take. And, you know, it just takes a long time, so you have to kind of be prepared for that as well. But I'm going to talk about some books today that I think are really good for binging, and there's different reasons why. Okay, this one is actually probably the shortest one on this list, but it's still almost 500 pages. And for a contemporary book, that's kind of big. I'm talking about Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. Now, this is a contemporary book, but it's like 480 something pages. My copy here, I have the paperback. My copy is 486 pages long. So that seems pretty big for a contemporary book, right? Like how much can you cram in here? So much. The reason this is a good book to binge, I read this really quickly because I just did not want to stop. It was so juicy. There's a mystery in here. There's a murder mystery in here. But I wouldn't classify this as necessarily a thriller or it's a mystery contemporary, I would say. It's not really thrillery, but there is so much to unfold trying to figure out, number one, who was murdered. You don't even know who was murdered in the beginning, and who it was and why they were murdered. And so, you know, you're going back and forth a little bit, and you're like the kind of the present timeline is like police interviews with people who are present at the event where this murder happened. And then you're going back in the past and kind of leading up to it. So, and there's so much community drama in here, like mom drama happening in here, and just a lot to unfold, and just people behaving badly all around. And it was just juicy, and I just couldn't stop. Like it was popcorn. I was just like, give me more. I need to know all the things. It was so much fun. I read it really quickly, even though it was almost 500 pages. We're getting to the big ones. This next one is over 550 pages, 564 in my copy. I have the paperback of this one as well. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It is top 3. Top 3 favorites of all time. And that's The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This book is big. It is big, and it's a heavy book, but it is so beautiful at the same time. This is a World War II historical fiction that takes place in France. It is Nazi-occupied France. We are following 2 sisters who are handling this war in very different ways, and the best ways that they know how to, based on their life circumstances, even though they're sisters. You guys, this book, oh, it is devastating. It is beautiful. I could not put this down. I just devoured every single word in here. This is definitely something I would reread, even though it's upwards of 600 pages. I would read this again in a heartbeat. And it's just, things happen in here that challenge you and make you think and make you wonder what in the world you would do and make you cry for these situations that they're in. And oh, I loved it. Obviously, it's top 3 of all time. So, yeah, but definitely a good one that you can binge for sure. Okay, this next one, you guys, you're going to get your eye roll ready because I'm going to talk about this book again. I'm just going to get a page count for you here. 628 in my copy. Malice by John Gwynne. I know. We're talking about this again. I know. But you guys, it's huge. This is a high epic fantasy, book number 1 in a series. It's a 4-book series. And it's fantastic. I absolutely love this book. I read this book so fast. I was really surprised because I kind of went into this thinking, oh, it's going to take me forever. It's going to take forever for me to get through this. I'm going to have to really sort through what's happening in the world and the magic and all this stuff. I had no problem understanding a single word of it. It was so, so good. I flew through it. The reason this is bingeable, number one, is because it's written in a way that's very approachable, and it doesn't get in its own way, if you will, the way it's written. And it's just really good storytelling. And the reason I want to recommend this for bingeable is because this entire series is definitely bingeable, because this entire 4-book series is told in one storyline. There's no time jumps. There's no, hey, let's go over, let's jump back 100 years for this book and we're going to tell it in a different timeline. No, it's like the story starts here in book 1, the story ends here in book 4. Like, we are going on a linear timeline. So you could really binge these books and get one big epic story at one time. Not a lot of series do that, to be honest with you. There's a lot of time jumps. There's a lot of, just kind of jumping around and timelines, doing all that stuff. But that's not what this series does. So that's why I think this is a really good bingeable series. Did I binge it? No, because I'm an idiot. So, but I loved this book so much, and even want to reread it and then binge the series. So I want to have that experience, but I do want to reread this one first, because it's been a year and a half since I read this. So I would need to like I would not be mad about rereading this book. I really wouldn't. That doesn't intimidate me. That actually makes me excited. This next one, I had to go with Stephen King, because the man writes some long books. He does write some shorter books as well, but he's got some big ones. Now, the one I picked is one that has been recommended to me quite a bit. I will read it because it is on the Great American Reads list, and it's Stephen King, so I want to read it. I want to read his entire catalog. Now, this one is a special edition, but it's 1,152 pages. The Stand. Whew. This is a behemoth. This is the Barnes & Noble leather classics edition, if you will, on their classic shelves. So it's huge, but I love it. This is easily one of his most popular books, and it is it's like an apocalyptic. Am I saying that right? Post-apocalyptic. Yeah, apocalyptic. I can't say it. Book that follows a disease. So, like a big pandemic breaks out and changes the world completely. So I really do want to read this. I've heard amazing things about it, and I will at some point. I just haven't done it yet. This is a big one, so it's a big undertaking. But yeah, eventually I will read this. But definitely bingeable, because I love Stephen King's writing. He writes in a way that is just really easy to follow, and he also doesn't dumb anything down. So it's easy to follow, but it's not simple. But you can easily follow along and know exactly what he's talking about, even when it gets weird. And even when it gets weird, it doesn't bother me. I like the weirdness. So yeah. So I think that's why this is bingeable, because, even though it's huge and big, I think it's going to be entertaining enough that it's going to keep me going. Okay, last but not least, I have this paperback copy of this book that is kind of a classic, if you will, I think. And my copy has 1,291 pages, and that is Once an Eagle. This is by Anton Meyer. And this one is it's a Civil War. I feel like it is. Let's see. Okay, I had to kind of read up a little bit to remind myself. I know that this is a war-centered book. It's actually required reading for Marine Corps cadets and for West Point. So, they're required to read this book. Can you imagine? So I know it's about war. And when I was reading through the description here, it kind of starts at the Great War and goes through different wartime situations. And it even goes through World War II and ends with the Cold War in Vietnam. So it's multiple different wartime situations and what's happening. And we're following certain characters, I think, that are experiencing all this stuff. I've just heard really good things about it. I've heard it's just written in a really fast-paced and interesting way. And it's huge, but I have heard that people actually tend to fly through this as well, even though it's so big. This is crazy big. But I've heard really good things. My mom has told me really good things about it and told me I should read it, and I listened to my mother. because she's usually not wrong when it comes to books and me. So yeah, it's big though. Whew. Okay guys, those are some big books that I think are bingeable. At least the ones I've read for sure. The other two I'm kind of making a guess based on what I've heard from other people. So make sure you go check out Lindsay today and see what big book she's talking about. I'm really excited to see that as well. And we will see you guys again soon. Please let me know if you read any of these. Let me know what big books you were intimidated by but got through quickly, or you were surprised at how quick they read even though they were really big. I'd love to know. And I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day.